Okay, this is actually the seventh 3-star of the InTheDark versus Hitmen wall. Their wall finished 95-92 to InTheDark, but I just wanted to jump ahead and show you this replay. It's just such a nice attack. Absolutely beautiful hitting from Evie from Hitmen, and let's have a look at it. So firstly, have a look at the base. So if you have a look at the base, you'll see a couple of things about it. So you're seeing what's typical: centered CC and Queen. You're seeing the Infernos protected by high hit point buildings, often the case these days. So it's great if you can. It just makes it much harder to access the Infernos. I guess if you could come at them from this side, but you've got to get over a lot more of the base to get to them from this side, because they're slightly to this side of the base. So it encourages to hit from this side, but then you've got to work your way through either the D East or the Town Hall to get to one of them. Pretty interesting defense strategy there. Coming from this side, you've just got a lot of base to work through to get to the Inferno. I guess they're fairly well protected. Now, looking at the air defense placement, and you'll see a lot of this right now. The air defenses, it's kind of, they're spread apart far enough that it's actually pretty hard to access two of them. You know, if you're going for an Inferno and two ADs, maybe you could come through here or here, but here you're going to run into the Town Hall, which is a huge damage sink, and you might not, it's going to be hard. If you come in here, well, maybe you can get it, but you're going to have to work your way through, try and get two ADs, the Inferno, but you've got to work your way through a bow and the DE store. So pretty interesting defense there. What's probably weaker about this base is, you know, you're basically running light on whiz towers, because the whiz towers are basically ADs in range. The hounds are going to neutralise your whiz towers. I don't know why people keep making this mistake, but at some point people will realise that that's a pretty significant base flaw in terms of air defence. But apart from that, the base is actually pretty good. So let's have a look at the way Evie does this hit. So they've taken this angle, so they're going to go for an Inferno. We're looking at, they've got a jump and a zap. Got the Queen, a couple of wizards this side, a couple of wizards this side, and actually I'll just touch on this. So you'll notice no wall breakers. So people are starting to say, look, I'd rather have an extra wizard or two wizards and just use the jump spell to get in rather than use some wall breakers. And so that's just a strategy people are using to just get eke a little more percent out of the base. The other thing I just want to touch on in this strategy, I'm starting to like people who are hitting when the CC is slightly off center, they hit the sort of the Queen side of the CC. And it means the CC troops get triggered late, and the advantage of that is you clear a fair bit more of the base before you're fighting the CC, so you seem to get more value from this first part of the raid when you do that, when the CC is slightly off center. Just an observation. So Golems come in, they'll trigger the CC soon. Coming in, I'll see a couple of skeletons, got the King. CC still not triggered at this stage, so you can see the Queen's knocking out tons of buildings. That's what I was talking about here. Finally the CC gets triggered. They'll let it all come in. Got some wizards, got a witch there, and so when the witch comes in, aim hopefully around the witch about here and drop it. Yep. Make sure you don't miss your witch. So it clears out the bow. I love the patience here. Now just have a look at, because the CC came in late, a lot of the defence has been cleared out this side of the base, and that's what gets the Queen to the Inferno here, because like all the defence is gone. So it just shows you how much of the base you can clear. You know, you've got two Golems and a King and a bunch of wizards. They've cleared that whole section of defence, and because there's no ground defence left, that allows this to go, and this to go, because the Queen's not under much fire. Beautiful piece of defence, and I love the patience here on the Queen ability. That's just letting it go down, knowing it's only copying 40 damage per second. Still out of range of all of these. And finally uses the Queen ability to take down the Inferno. So just a beautiful first part of the raid, 30% down, and took out 2 ADs and an Inferno. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that Engage, the far side, with the Clan Castle off centre, didn't trigger that quite late, and therefore got a lot of the base cleared out before actually launching the raid. So awesome raiding, Evie. So as you see, commonly start on the far side of the base. You notice, as is really common, they'll try and drop the loons as wide as they can around the bases in 2s and 3s. Nice high value rage there, and nice that it's over the bow. The third lava targeting the next AD, this is quite common these days. And I like the way, in terms of the approach around the base, actually I'll just touch on 2 things. I visited another clan recently, and someone started their drop sort of middle of what was left. You actually need to pick either this side or this side. You don't start it in the middle, otherwise the loons and the lavas will get hit by defences from both sides. Which you start from this side, basically all the loons aren't getting hit from any defence here, and as you gradually drop them round, all the defences over here are engaged on what's attacking them here, so the ones in the middle don't get attacked from both sides. So that's just a tip in terms of when you're doing your drop, making sure you work round from where there's no defence, either one way or the other way around the base. What I like about what Evie the attacker's done here is left the Inferno till last, because that way, you know, with that sort of gradual drop around the base, you just got too many balloons for that Inferno at the end, and it just overwhelms that Inferno, as you'll see. Some good high value range there over the bow, freeze there, and this is quite sweet. Instead of 2 balloons, just doing 3 hogs for the drop here to take down the Wiz Tower. I thought that was quite sweet, especially given that the Archer Tower is engaged on balloons. So that 3 hog thing was a pretty neat adjustment for the distraction drop. I like the hogs, they're coming quick, and 3 hogs, you can see they survived, and certainly that's helped the base clearing quite a bit. Oh, and run into a double bomb. But you know, that 3 hogs is interesting for the final Wiz Tower, isn't it, as well? So a beautiful raid there from Evie from Hitmen. That is sweet. Look forward to seeing more of Evie's raids.